What is up, you beautiful happy hustlers out there? Cary Jack here, and I hope that you are slaying the day. I mean it, just enjoying this very moment right here and right now. And in this solo episode of the Happy Hustle Podcast, we are talking about being uniquely you, because I think that is truly the best way to be, uniquely you, unapologetically so. There's so many people out there copying one another with their content, with their businesses, with their products, with their white labeled this and drop shipping, same Amazon product that. It's time for you to be uniquely you. And this is a message to myself just as much as it is for you. However, I really, truly, honestly, in my heart, believe being uniquely you is the best way to be. So buckle up if you're ready to party and be uniquely you in this solo episode of the Happy Hustle Podcast. Now let's dive in. All right, guys, welcome back to the Happy Hustle Podcast. And we are talking about being uniquely you. And I really think right now, in this noisy world that we live in, you have to really own your uniqueness. You have to be different. Different is better than being better. I mean, I'll just tell you from my own perspective, I see so many people out there copying one another. And I'm guilty of it as well. You know, I see an ad on Instagram or Facebook, and I'm like, oh, maybe I should do an ad like that. Or I see a digital course or product or service. And I'm like, oh, maybe I should launch a product or service or digital course like that. And then you see even in like the supplement nutrition game, it's like people are taking the exact same product and they're white labeling it. It's the same manufacturer. It's the same exact product. And they're just putting a different label on it. And I think right now in our current society, there's this validation comes from, oh, this person's successful using these techniques. Maybe I should try it. Maybe that'll work for me. And sometimes that is the case. But oftentimes when we try to copy others, we fail. So you might as well go at it and be uniquely you. And that's what I want to really dive into in this episode. And I want to share a story. It is a story from back when I was the high school senior at Sarasota, Florida, in Sarasota, Florida, at Sarasota High School. That was where I grew up, half Florida, half Montana. And my high school was pretty much like your movie high school. I mean, it had all the different cliques. It was massive, multiple thousands of students. My hometown of Sarasota, Florida, is basically like Laguna Beach, California, except it's like, maybe its stepsister, not as hoity-toity, although there's plenty of wealth there. It had a lot of fun and it knew how to party. And there's this competition that high school seniors can essentially join and participate in. It's called Mr. Sarasota. And it's basically a pageant for the men. You know how they have like all the Miss Universe and whatnot. It models that. But I competed in it in senior year. And this is a story of being uniquely me while competing in that competition. And a lot of my friends, they were also competing in it. And, a lot of them were quite popular and all, jocks and, had the whole high school persona going on of like, popularity. Now, inside this competition, you had formal wear, you had casual wear, you had beach attire, you had the question and answer portion, and then you had a talent portion. Well, for my talent, I wanted to do something different. A lot of the guys were either playing an instrument or doing their sport, like some type of like juggling a soccer ball or a golf ball or, something pretty typical. But for my talent, I wanted to do something that was uniquely me. So I decided to take it all off. And by all off, I mean strip. So what happened was I had my sister, who's a choreographer and professional dancer. She choreographed me a tango with my best girlfriend, Betsy, and her and I put together this magnificent tango, if I say so myself. And, we were doing the lifts and the spins and all the stuff. And I had, this whole choreographed dance. But then I said, let's spice this up. So I essentially took that audio from the tango portion and spliced in 2 cuts of I'm Too Sexy for My Shirt by Right Said Fred. And I promise this story has a point, so stick with me. Okay, so I had this audio track that went tango, Right Said Fred, tango, finished on Right Said Fred. Excuse me. And during the Right Said Fred portion, I'm too sexy for my shirt, too sexy for my shirt. I'm too sexy. Boom. So that was like the strip part, obviously. So I had my godmom Velcro my black dress pants down the right seam and the left seam so I could rip them off. And then I had my black dress shirt Velcroed down the seam so I could rip it off. And then I went to the sex store. This was extremely awkward with my mother to find black pleather boy shorts, which let me tell you, the looks we were getting in there together. And I had this little black leather vest on, and then high dress black socks and black, leather shoes. And so we started off on the tango portion. It was go time. And, we were already competing. I'll fast forward to the actual, like the actual Mr. Sarasota competition, thousands of people inside the auditorium. I mean, our whole school was there, the principal, all the judges, everyone. And in my rehearsal, I didn't obviously strip because I'm sure they wouldn't have allowed that. So I just did the tango portion and just played the audio track for that. But when it came show night, I definitely went all in, and may or may not took a couple swigs of Jägermeister prior. I know Betsy did, and we loosened up and we got out there and we did our thing, and I went out there, stripped off my clothes at the Right Said Fred. The first cut of the Right Said Fred, I threw my shirt onto the judges table and then went back to tango, dancing with just my leather vest and my black dress pants on. And then at the second cut of the Right Said Fred, I essentially ripped off all my pants. I had on just these tiny little pleather boy shorts, and I threw my pants onto the judges and actually like landed on one of the judges' head, the female. It was hilarious. She didn't think it was that funny, but anyway, I'm there dancing in front of thousands of people with my little pleather boy shorts, my little pleather, vest. And I was just owning it, being uniquely me. Now, I will tell you, the story doesn't necessarily have a happy ending, as I did get disqualified and basically suspended and almost expelled for stripping at my high school. However, what that lesson taught me was how to be uniquely me, because I still get basically asked about that when I go home to my hometown in Sarasota, Florida. And I don't necessarily know if it's a good thing to be known for the guy who stripped at Mr. Sarasota, but I will tell you, different is more memorable. Being uniquely you is more memorable. Same goes with your business, same goes with your product or service, same goes with pretty much everything. Being uniquely you is invaluable. And I want you to think about how you can be more uniquely you. Okay. If you're even slightly a decent artist, think how you can infuse more of your art into what you do so you can express yourself further. If maybe you're somewhat decent at comedy, think how you can throw in some humor to your marketing message. If you're even somewhat decent at, sports, think about how you can integrate maybe your skills as an athlete into what you do. Being uniquely you can come in so many different forms. Here I am sitting here recording this podcast episode shirtless. That's being uniquely me. I didn't feel like putting a shirt on for this episode. So I'm sitting here on camera. If you're watching the YouTube video, then you already know. But if you're just listening to the audio, here I am chilling here with my caveman look, shirtless. And you know what? I'm just owning it because I'm sick of playing to other people's expectations or doing it, like PC or as the book says. I really want to step more into my power. And as I step more into my power, I want to own my uniqueness. And I want you to do the same. If you're a happy hustler, getting after it, really working towards creating that dream reality, you need to own your uniqueness. You need to infuse it into your business. You need to infuse it with your clients. You need to really start just being truly you from the inside out, from the outside in, owning it. Okay. And I know it's easier said than done because we all think about, oh, what's this person going to think of me or that person going to think of me? But I'm telling you, it's so much more rewarding to live like that. So I wanted to basically just give you this episode as permission, not that you need it, but to go all in starting today, being uniquely you. And when you need a little reminder to be uniquely you, go ahead and listen to this episode again. I'm telling you, you will watch your income and your impact increase the more true, authentically you are. And while you're at it, add in some vulnerability, sprinkle in some raw, real, whatever it is that is you, so that people can really see who you are. There's a lot of fake BS facades going on out there. The materialistic this, standing in front of the fancy car that, and, renting a yacht and saying it's yours or whatever. Like, there's a lot of people faking it. And I think more and more as we become more and more connected, the people who are truly them, raw, real, and just, authentic, those people are going to shine. They're going to shine bright. And I really want that to be you. I want it to be the happy hustlers, my amazing tribe of real, raw people getting out after it, infusing that passion, that purpose, and that positive impact. I truly believe the happy hustlers can change the world. Like this movement that we're creating, I've seen some of the ripple effects and it's magnificent. But it only happens if you are uniquely you and don't copy other people. You step into your power and you own that shit. And you just move through life, just becoming more and more confident in your skin. Oh, I got fired up here. In your skin, where you just own it. Okay. So I want this to be your coming out party where you just own who you are, be raw, be real, be true, be you. Okay. Now, if you got some value in this episode, share with a friend who maybe needs to become more uniquely them, or at least step into their power, and he needs a little confidence to do so. All right. I love you so much, guys. Now, go out there and happy hustle your dream reality. Peace and love, y'all. Yee!